proudly sharing their love for Chinese cuisine, dressing in traditional Han clothing, and enthusiastically educating foreigners about China. The actions of Generation Z in China have made many Westerners curious or even overwhelmed, causing them to wonder, how did they become so patriotic? To find the answer, one must understand what Generation Z has experienced while growing up in China. Number 1. China has achieved unprecedented rapid economic development as well as long-term social stability. In 2010, China assumed the position of the second largest economy in the world. A total of 98.99 million of China's rural population have been lifted from poverty, and over 25 million impoverished youth have escaped poverty. The youth now have a high-quality environment for their development, and they continue to strive for a better life. Number 2. The youth have also received better and more widespread education. By 2021, the completion rate of compulsory education in China reached 95.4%, with a gross high school admission rate of 91.4%, a gross higher education admission rate of 57.8%, and 44.3 million students on campus, ranking first in the world. Through national policies, more and more youth in impoverished areas have access to better education, effectively blocking the intergenerational transmission of poverty. Number 3. The youth are embracing the world with greater openness and confidence. In 1978, China only sent around 800 students abroad. In 2019, more than 700,000 Chinese students went abroad to undertake education courses. The number of Chinese overseas returnees grew from 248 in 1978 to more than 580,000 in 2019. In addition, a large number of Chinese youth go abroad for travel and work, which has enabled them to better understand the world and provided them a platform to receive worldwide recognition. Generation Z has learned much from their travels and can see the world as equal, think critically, and be sensible patriots. Number 4. The century-old history of humiliation experienced by China has also made young people more patriotic. In 1840, Britain made China vulnerable to the world with the Opium War. After that, China was reduced to a buffet for all the imperialist powers. The country's land was divided, treasures plundered, and Yuanming Yuan, the garden of all gardens, was burnt to the ground. Unable to put up a meaningful fight, the Qing government was forced into a series of unequal treaties. China's sovereignty was lost, and its politics, economy, and military matters were placed into the hands of others. In 1931, the September 18th incident started the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, which led to the Nanjing Massacre, wherein a coordinated, ruthless attack by the Japanese army killed over 300,000 unjust souls in just 6 weeks. The notorious Unit 731 started germ warfare, prohibited by international law, using their biochemical weapons to experiment on live Chinese people. China truly faced its extinction. With the humiliation and pain of having lost their country in the past, the Chinese people are now more in love with the independent, strong China than ever before. Number 5. China is an everlasting civilization. Each dynasty has its own detailed written records, passing on its culture to the modern day. Due to this, young people in China have a strong sense of identification with Chinese culture. In this everlasting culture, the idea of patriotism is of paramount importance, as it has run consistently throughout all of Chinese history. Everyone should be responsible for the prosperity of the country. To be the first in the country to worry about the affairs of state, and the last in the country to enjoy oneself. I shall dedicate myself to the interests of the country in life and death, irrespective of personal weal and woe. Generations of young Chinese people have made these historical quotes their mottos, reminding them of the fate of their nation as well as the social responsibility on their shoulders. Generation Z in China has witnessed a country developing rapidly with each passing day, joining the World Trade Organization, creating manned spaceships from scratch, the Beijing Olympic Games that awed the world, the inauguration of the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, and the completion of China's Tianyan FAST. With all of this information in mind, it is clear to see how Generation Z in China has grown to be passionate, proud, and patriotic about their incredible nation.